Hey everybody, I'm Joseph, aka Rockstar Joe, and welcome back to a Blerd's Intermission podcast. I hope you all have had a wonderful week since the last episode. I know for me, there's definitely been some great days, some okay days, and then some days where some days where I'm in between O and K. So yeah. Today's episode, honestly, no guests, just me. I don't know. This is kind of like an open letter, like just a heart to heart conversation, I guess you can say. But let's dive straight into it. I promise you there will be some happiness at the end of this podcast, but there are some serious topics that need to be discussed. To be discussed. So yeah, let's dive into it. So as always, I'm happy to give the blessings, checking on people, make sure their weeks are okay and all that good stuff. And as I mentioned, my week was like, some days were great, some days were like all right, and then there were some days where I was in between O and a K. So, starting with Saturday's mood, like, I don't know. I woke up feeling happy and ready to start my day. But at the same time, there was like, some energy that was just off. While I can say I felt happy, my actions proved otherwise. There was a legit part of me that wanted to grab a pillow and scream into it, or just grab a bed and head to the junkyard. I wanted to be around people, but at the same time, I didn't want to be bothered. So for, pretty much of the day, I just spent much of it laying down until I decided, to go to grocery shop. Well, until I decided to go grocery shopping in one of my favorite spots in Alexandria, Virginia. Taking that drive, bumping to Logic was indeed a vibe. I even grabbed some Chipotle while I was at it. All these things, actually cheered me up. And, I came back home and I was good. But after a while, I just had a headache coming on. And, for me, I probably mentioned this before, but, I deal with insomnia. So it's like, I have the worst times trying to, fall asleep. So, as usual, pulled a couple J's from the stash, grabbed my Galaxy Buds, stepped outside, pressed play, and then, just began to, enjoy the moment, I guess. But, at this point, the headache that I was, sensing is gone. I'm relaxed, I'm at ease, and then, eventually I'm able to fall asleep until boom.
A community in our nation's capital was left devastated after 20 people were hurt and a teenager was killed during a shooting at a party. D.C. police say it happened just after midnight in the southeast part of the district. They say several hundred people were at the party at the time, and investigators are now searching for at least 3 shooters. Of the 20 who were injured, one was a police officer who's now fighting to stay alive. The teen who was killed has been identified as 17-year-old Christopher Brown. His mother says he was energetic with an infectious smile.
2 days ago, I literally said, "I love you," and I hugged him. He has a 1-year-old son, another child on the way.
Ms. Brown also expressed frustration that a party of such size was taking place during a pandemic and should have been shut down.
So, as you hear the clip, this past weekend, we had an incident take place, and we had a mass shooting in Southeast. And I found it to be, extremely funny how, just last week when I was, conversing with Chauncey and how he was talking about, what do you think about Southeast? And, I gave us a compliment of just, complimenting us with some of the best views in the city. We're rough around the edges, but, we're getting our shit together. By all means, always getting our shit together. But, to, have this incident take place and take place in general, like, it doesn't matter if it's Southeast or not, but to just have this incident take place is just, it's fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. Like, I'm not sure if that's, what I was sensing, on Saturday, but my God, Sunday when I saw that shit, I just grabbed my keys because I was already on my way out the house, but my mother was like, yo, somebody done got shot and killed and then 20 people. I'm just like, this is bullshit. Like, I didn't say that to her, because I still respect my elders and I'm trying to, try to cuss around them. But I was just like, in my mind, like, this is bullshit. Like, come on, bro. Like, fuck no, this is not real. But, I sat down. once I got in the car and just, looked at the article and just looked at the, the facts that was provided. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, ugh, it's just sad, man. But, with this incident, I managed to search on the internet and see a sea of people, that were there. I think it was reported like over 200, I think, people, but maybe more than that. But, some of these videos that I saw, because, when the news originally broke, I'm just like, it's amazing how I don't see any videos of anyone attending the party. And I'm just like, you know what? Be patient. I guarantee you, let some hours go by. And then, by all means, go to the internet, look at the right hashtags, look at certain pages. You'll be able to piece everything together. So, like I said, I managed to, come across a bunch of videos. On one video, I saw, one of the suspects open fire in the crowd. And it was just like, man, it was, to me, honestly, the clip of that shit happening seemed as if it was like a clip out of John Wick or The Matrix. Like, I don't know if the guy was fighting and then they got the best of him, or he or she got the best of him and then he just pulled around and just started shooting. But the way that shit just looks as a visual, I was just like, God damn. Like, the fact that this guy had the balls to just open fire in a sea of people, like, these bullets don't have names on them, my guy. They don't. You shoot them, like, to each his own with, carrying a gun, but just, man, what the fuck, yo? Like, shit don't make sense, man. Like, people don't fight no more. I wonder why. Is it, due to the ego of being defeated and shit? Like, let that shit go. Fuck a gun. Fuck a gun. In this sense, like, fuck that shit, man. But like I said, I seen a video, one of the suspects opened fire. I saw a video of people, laying on the ground. And then I also seen another video where this person, rushed the camera to one of those people who were actually shot. And, the lady, what she was wearing, of course she was at a party, but I wasn't too much of a fan of the person who actually recorded it. Like, this lady was just in pure shock. You can kind of see up her skirt. I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, the least you can do is blur these people's faces out, body parts and shit like that. But as this guy's, recording this body, this person that's in shock, you do hear someone come across like, hey, like, put that shit down. Like, what are you doing? And I was having this conversation with my mother earlier, but I was just like, yo, what the fuck do people do? Like, why do they think it's okay to grab their phone? Like, I get it. If somebody shoots, by all means, the first thing I'm thinking about doing is getting cover. Fuck a cell phone. Fuck all that other shit, yo. Fuck hit and record. Like, nah, y'all niggas be pressed to fucking hit record instead of getting the safety. And it's like, what the fuck is your point? The fuck is your point? Like, then if you get hit by a stray bullet, like, do we feel guilty for that shit? Like, of course we do. But on some real shit, like, what the fuck are we doing with that? But I seen multiple videos like that where people just running like, oh shit, they shooting. But then they dunking and running. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, this shit really upset me when I saw that shit. That's why I said this episode is like an open heart, open letter type of situation. Because of shit, like, I don't know. I'm just irritated, man. I really am. But it is what it is. Yeah, man. I don't know. That shit really upset me. But to get back on topic, honestly, this summer has been vicious, cruel, and just unapologetic. Like, man, once I saw that video of that mass shooting taking place, I just started going down like this little like pipe hole, just looking into like all the shootings and crimes that have taken place this year so far. Like, I seen some wild shit. I seen a shootout that I thought happened years ago that actually took place in I think June, But there was like a group of people just chilling out in their neighborhood, and then like you see some people chilling on the stairs, and then after a while, all you hear is just gunshots going off, and you see a motherfucker in the Benz pull out an AK. You see other motherfuckers like motherfuckers looking like this, like motherfuckers was looking like Call of Duty on some modern warfare shit. Like, the shit was crazy. Motherfuckers stopped shooting, and then everything just went back right to normal. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, once you start hearing the sirens, motherfuckers just like, oh, nope, let's put the guns up. Like, damn. I seen some shit like that. I done seen motherfuckers walk into a store, looking suspicious as fuck, shooting motherfuckers. It's just, man, I look back into the situation that happened a couple years ago where, I think it was a gray or black Infinity pulled up in his neighborhood. I think it was like 4 gunmen, and motherfuckers just started like lighting shit up. Like, yo, DC is just wild, man. Like, I was telling my grandmother this shit. I'm like, yo, this world is crazy. She's like, nah, the people in it is. And I'm just like, you got that, man. You got that shit. Because this shit is just terrible. It really is. Like, the shit, I don't know what to say, man. Like, I think a lot of people fail to realize it, especially the younger generation, people that's younger. But, before Chicago, took the crown of being the murder capital and all that shit, DC was. I find it, funny that Kanye said, in the song Murder to Excellence, he says, I'm from the murder capital, where they murder for capital. And I'm just like, man, that shit hit home. That shit hits home now. Like, I'm not saying all these crimes are, due to people just trying to make money and shit, but it's just like, man, when you really think about just all the fucking crime that's taking place in the nation's capital, where we have a fucking White House, you would think in a place like that, in a city like that, crime rates would be down, but sadly it's not. Shit just terrible though, man. Rest in peace to that young king. That shit is crazy, yo. 17, already had a child, and then had another one on the way. Like, I'm not even gonna go deep into that conversation of just being young with 2 kids, but yo, still, man, this is shit that fucks me up in the head. That fucks up my mental health. When young fathers die, like, that shit always fucks me up, always. Cause then it's like, I don't know. I always think about like, yo, what if like, what if that shit happens to me? What is Jacayla gonna do? Like, I can't. Yeah, man. Yeah, shit. I can't even imagine some shit like that happening. But my God, I can imagine my daughter just being devastated. Like, and low key, hopefully she doesn't hear this, and this can still be a secret. But one of the things, like I've said this before, and this podcast is literally mentions that shit. But for me, I'm definitely into comic books and Marvel and just the imagination, creativity. I'm all into that shit. And Endgame definitely inspired me to do a lot of things. And that conversation that Tony had with his daughter Morgan, and the whole I love you 3000 type of thing. Like, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Just in case if it ever happens, I started doing these things called JJ 3000s. And basically these are just like, pre-recorded messages, like an archive of just things I want to leave behind. Conversations, secrets, fun Easter eggs, shit like that for, like, I don't know, man. I'm just thinking to the future at this point. But, yeah, give me a second. I have to respond to a message right quick. Edit this out the podcast. All right, my bad. Sorry about the little break. Had to, text back one of the family members. Congratulations to Kamala Harris for being, Joe Biden's vice president, aka, HU alum, HU, maybe one day she'll listen to this, but, since you're vice president and, most more likely you're going to be the actual vice president from 2021 to 2025 or whatever. But, can you clear, student debt in full now? You know what I'm saying? Not done. If you want to, just look out for all HBCU colleges, clear their debt for us by all means, teach his own, but I would love that if you can. But, yeah, back to the podcast. So yeah, suicide is another topic that I want to discuss. I see a lot of people, definitely on social media, definitely clowning a lot of people, and I've always been on the fence of like people who, tweet, share, Instagram video, record, whatever, like their suicidal attempt or just like their suicidal thoughts. Like, I'm all for expressing them, but I'm just like, I don't know, social media, I used to really think, I'm just like, that's really, to a degree, I'm like, that's a call for hope. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if you're like yearning for attention. But then I'm like, I don't even think social media would be the necessary healthiest place to, share those thoughts. Like once you're done and you overcome those, those fears, those desires, and that, that hill, like by all means, you can share your experience, share your story, and all that greatness, to help the next person. But in the mix of actually experiencing it, having those thoughts, like I don't know. That's why I'm so big on having a community. Like I'd rather you hit somebody up, hit your group of, your group of people, your community, your trust circle, etc. Like I would prefer that you hit them up first, before you address that shit to the world. But once again, not judging. Um, this is just another thing I'm seeing. And so, when I say people are making fun of shit like this, like a situation I saw on social media this past weekend, the situation with Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks definitely put up a lot of alarming content, I would say. Just a lot of dark shit, man. And I definitely understand. Definitely been there, had that experience before. But I don't know, man. She was just talking about like just ending her life. You know, she was saying, for those to continue to clown and be with the hate, like continue to be that shit, cause you wasn't shit, when I was alive. So when I die, don't switch up. And I understand that shit too. But she was going on and on and on. And one of her friends actually sent, had a wellness check for her, and then she posted a video out of that after that. And in that video was just like she still is saying like, I appreciate it and all that, but that's not going to change what I'm going to do. Like I'm still going to try to push out this music within the next couple of months, but at this very moment it seems like my mind is made up. I'm gonna still try to give you guys a gift, a piece of me and all that, but at the same time, like I have this made up. Like my mind is my mind is set with that. I'm sorry. Like I realize there's a lot of stumbling over my words this episode, but I don't know, man. Stick with me. I'm trying to process my emotions right now. But yeah, let's just like I see a lot of people just clowning her, and I'm like, I get it. She was very problematic. Said some shit that can upset the community and all that great shit, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Suicide, I take mental health. I take seriously, but especially when you think about the suicide rates that we have been trending on, like that shit is going up, yo. That shit is going up. So it's like, whenever a sister or a brother, and this expands outside of color too, but truly, when you see a brother or sister, and then you think a celebrity at that, we always think celebrities got these good lives, but I've always heard like, money doesn't really change much. Like you think success can really bring you happiness, but yet you still cry, you still mourn, you still deal with the same bullshit that humans deal with. You're just dealing with it on a grander stage sometimes. But I wish her the best, man. I really do. As I was preparing my notes for today's recording, another celebrity, aka human, that posted some alarming photos was Lakeith Stanfield. You may know him from Atlanta, Sorry to Bother You. So yeah, wasn't expecting that. But once again, not even gonna share the content that he was posting, but yeah, that shit don't make a difference. Like I'm starting to really genuinely think like being a celebrity isn't like, is it worth it? Like I know I yearn to a degree, I yearn for success, but I don't yearn for the acknowledgement of truly being a celebrity. Like I don't care for that. Like I rather appreciate my work, my work and all that great shit, but by all means you don't have to bow down to me, get on your knees or anything like that. But I don't know. This shit really makes me really, really reevaluate success and what it means to be a celebrity. Cause I've seen the nicest people. I've seen the nicest people, especially like my guy like Logic. I've seen some of the nicest people just have good intentions, pure honesty and shit like that, and still get ridiculed, still get destroyed by the media, still be hated for just being them. And I've also seen the worst people try to act gangster and still, cry behind the closed doors and shit like that. So, I don't know, man. This shit is just, it's a mind fuck. It really is. But like I said, both of these spirits are home to a beautiful black body. And that's what's sad, reflecting back to when I read The Unapologetic Guide for Black Mental Health, our suicide rates are rising. Whether it's celebrities or the unknown heroes of our community, these statistics are true. You can even look at the news and see the stories there. But nonetheless, look out for yourself and your neighbors, aka your brothers and sisters and so forth. Remember to use your ABCs. Your ABCs is that you can assume that you can help, be a good listener, and cancel your judgment. As I tell people, it's all fun and games until that shit hits home for some. Mental health crisis can take over your mind at any point. So for those, to continue to laugh, for those who continue to laugh, especially in Exelia Banks' case, shut the fuck up, eat a dick, honestly. Like I said, I'm aware of her problematic past, but, once again, I don't want another sister of the black community to kill herself. That shit is not fair. She doesn't deserve that. I've had queens around me that consider suicide. I've had people to hit me up like, yo, I'm thinking about this shit. And that shit fucks me up. But moral of the story, man, I don't know. If you need hope or some advice, like by all means, you can, reach out for the suicide, hotline. You can even fucking check out episode 6. That episode 6 is literally just like a mental health fucking review episode. So, I mean, do what you can. If you're strong-minded and you're good, by all means, check on your other friends. Even if they are those strong-minded motherfuckers, like, nah, check on them. Hey, you good? I know Corona still exists. You want to go out, go for a walk, something, like, life is too short, man. Life is too short to regret that shit, to regret ever being say like, hey, I'm not okay, or hey, I need a hug, or hey, I miss you. Like, nah, yo. Put all that ego shit, put all that shit to the side, yo. Put all that shit to the side. But, yeah, moving forward, a getaway is definitely needed. A getaway is definitely needed. Just with all the sadness and doom that just lingers, like, I'm just in need of a day vacation or something. I talked to one of my friends about visiting a couple spots, like the beach or a dope hiking spot. But chances are I'll probably try to, rent a car, do something with the little one first, and then do something for myself or separately. Because I feel like both of them are still doing stuff for me. But, when you do things for your kids, your interest got to, pull back a little bit. But we'll see how that turns out. I know real shit. Like, I know with my car right now, my little Goldie, my little Nissan, that baby's hanging in there, but it's definitely time to, get an upgrade. I ain't gonna lie. If that stimulus check come out again, my boy, I'm trying to put most of that into savings, maybe invest a little bit into stock, and then definitely get a better car, because I need that shit. I need that. Like, I'm happy and fortunate that I can get these little mini drives to Virginia and to Pennsylvania and shit like that, but I don't know, man. I miss nature. I need a nice hiking trip. I need a beach. I need water. I need earth. I'm a fucking earth sign. Like, I need that element. I need it. Whether that's hopping in the car, packing a little bag of lunch, have a little couple J's on the side, etc. Go to a hill, go to a beach, sit, bring a speaker, enjoy the music, etc. Like, I need that right now. I'm tired of hearing all these fucking sirens going off 24/7. That's the one thing I don't miss about Southeast, y'all. When I lived in Northeast, like, the chances of hearing a siren was just every once in a while. In Southeast, that bitch run like every fucking 10 minutes, man. You're bound to hear sirens. How can I say this? Sirens appear more than what a metro bus would, even if they are on a schedule. Like, the shit is just chaotic, man. But like I said, we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed, cause I definitely need that. But like I said, as I, said in the beginning, there is good news to all this, chaos and bullshit that's around me, or not just around me, but in general. But I mentioned in the last episode, I got around to reading, issue number 5 of Thor, and oh my fucking god. I won't share any spoilers for now, but all I can say is wow. To give a backdrop to the story, in issue number 1, we're kind of introduced to King Thor, the transition from the warrior to the king. But even that transition is, it poses a challenge for him. He still seeks adventure and wants to be active, but as king, that looks and feels different. That's something, it's like doing a complete 180, But as Thor, is getting adjusted to this life, he's about to approach his people and give a speech. And out of nowhere, here comes, Galactus falling out of the sky. And from there, yeah, the story just, grabs my attention. Hopefully it grabs yours. Like, if you're interested in reading it, but you don't have access to, comic books, by all means, I don't mind sharing it with you. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, etc. Rockstar_Joe_13. Gotcha. But last but not least, music.
Hey Mo, who's that?
Rockstar Joe.
So, I appreciate you all for hanging in there with me. 27 minutes so far, going on 28. Yeah, I don't know. If you hear this shit in my voice, like, I'm definitely trying to push through. It's one of those episodes. I think it was like similar to episode 3. I don't know, but it's similar to one of those episodes I did in the past, but it's like the energy isn't there. Like, you know how you have days where you don't want to do shit. I don't want to say not do shit, but days in which you really don't want to be bothered. And when I say you don't want to be bothered, like, I mean no house calls, no text messages, just like an escape. Like, that's how I'm kind of feeling. You know what I mean? I'm definitely working on getting out of this funk. But yeah, promise you, we're gonna get better. But as I mentioned, like I said, music. So, with all the shit that's going on in the world, like I said, there's definitely some good going on as well. I've definitely been grinding a bit more when it comes to music production. I know I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but I'm still inspired to create. I got some people in mind if I were to pursue an Intermission Part 2, but we'll see how that goes. And then, I do have some ideas that I'm cooking up. I feel like I can do an Intermission Part 2 or a beat tape, or, just produce like this kind of theater skit for you all. But we'll see how that goes. I got a lot of ideas. I was thinking before I started recording, I was listening to some of the instrumentals that I done, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm leaning towards a beat tape, but I really do, really do. I really want to do some form of intermission. But at the same time, I realized, like, I don't know. I love the concept of intermission, but I'm like, I'm ready to take that idea grander. Like, I'm ready to establish this universe, this planet. Yeah, I'd rather establish this planet. But we'll see how that goes, man. I know my homie, Logic got Paradise. I'm trying to think, what's a great way? What's something? Ooh, all right, never mind. We'll get to that later. Maybe I could share that in a bonus episode with that idea. We'll see. But yeah, man, we'll see. That's pretty much it. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Like I said, today's episode was just a simple, well, I wouldn't even say simple, but it was just one of those, heart to hearts, I guess. But everything's gonna be alright. The people of Southeast, we're gonna get our shit together. Black lives still matter. Peace, love, and positivity, as always. Peace.